Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you how to make the drop stitch braid on the Simply Braided beanie. And what you see here is where I divided my work into sections of 3 stitches. Then there's a larger section where you do your decreases. And then there's another section of 3 stitches, and that way it goes all the way around that. It's really important that you do the drop stitch in the area where there is no decreases, because if you do it where there is a decrease, we start dropping 3 stitches, but if those 3 stitches run into a decrease, those 3 stitches are gonna get to 4 stitches, and then there's 5. So just really important that you do it where it's just these 3 stitches. So what we do, we take the stitches off the needles. You can remove the markers as you do this, and we just drop them. This is the clue of a drop stitch braid. We just drop the stitches. We don't care if they fall all the way down. If your yarn is wool or has alpaca in it, it could be more difficult to drop the stitches. Like, they could hang on to each other, and if they do, it will be harder for you to drop them. This yarn is merino, 100% merino, so it's not that hard to make the stitches drop. Once you get closer to the bottom, I like taking it a little bit more slow, because I don't want my stitches to fall too far down. You see now, I have the stitches. I'm just going to put them on my hook so they don't continue to fall. I have the 3 stitches, and there is 2 stitches below the stitches on my hook. I prefer stopping here because I think it looks prettier, and I also don't want to risk going down into the rib, because it's just, you can fix it, but I think it's a pain to fix it. So I prefer stopping here. The most important thing with where you stop is just that you stop at the same place on every braid. There's 6 braids in this hat. I think there will be more braids in the cowl, but just always make sure that you stop at the same place. Because if I stop at 2 stitches above the rib and on this braid, and then when I get to the braid over here, I stop 3 stitches above, it's gonna look funky. So now I have the 3 stitches on my hook. I do prefer to use somewhere around 4 to 5 millimeter. I prefer closer to the 5, but 4 millimeter is what I had right now. So you find the 3 threads that are closest to your hook, the 3 bottom threads, and we're going to work with the 3 bottom threads all the time. You take your hook, grab those 3 threads, and you just pull it through the 3 stitches that you have on your needle. It might get a little bit weird to do it on the first stitch, but it should get easier once you work your way to the top. Now, if you don't want your braids to twist, I don't know how to show you really, but if you don't want your braid to get twisted, you should always just remove your hook and put it back in before you grab the next 3 threads. Then I found my next 3. I'm gonna grab them with my hook, and I'm gonna tighten them a bit, and then take it out, put it in, and I grab the next 3 stitches the same way all the way to the top. I'll see you when I get to the top of this hat. Now I just have 1 braid left. You can see I don't have 3 threads at the top, because before I started my decreases, I didn't count that my total number of rows was divisible by 3. But it doesn't matter. It's not gonna show unless you know that you did the mistake. If you have 2, 3, or 4 stitches left, it doesn't matter. Just take them all, make them into a braid, put them on the left needle, and then you're just gonna knit it as if it was a normal stitch. And there you have it. When you've done that, I'm just gonna show that one more time because it might not be clear. Put them on the left needle, and knit it to one stitch. When you do that, you just knit until you get to the next stitch, and then you do the same thing all over again. You can see, I just want to show you this before. You can see that there are a little bit of holes next to the braid. How large these holes are going to depend on how much you tighten the braids and what type of yarn it is. You will never be able to completely remove them. Just be aware of that. With merino yarn, it is eventually not going to show that much. But if this was another yarn that didn't have as much stretch in it, like, it would show a bit more. That's why I would suggest going up on the hat size instead of like going down if you are curious about what size you should make. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the box below or send me an email or message on Instagram.